Help me. I'm so cold.
Oh.
Yeah, you look
Oh no,
cold.
Joe. What's
Help
wrong?
me.
Why are you so cold?
I don't know. I everything's so pale and white around me. You know, I seem to have come across some kind of basilisk, brutalist infrastructure, and there's a desert outside, but it's cold. I don't know where I am. I feel like I'm in the pitch black universe.
Ooh,
Yeah, with
good reference.
Oh.
families, one and own. Yeah. Bam, bam. You can just hear him chanting in the background. Everyone's scared. Oh no, he's coming for us. I
I
forget
kind
his
of
name.
like those films.
Riddick.
The very last one was a little bit cheap, but I like them.
Well, yeah, I feel like they're trying to go back to basics, but yeah, it kind of comes across as like people stopped funding it, so now this is just purely Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I feel like he funded it himself.
Yeah, it's a personal project for him.
Yeah, it's like, I'll film at my house. We'll just film it all here.
A backyard that's
Yeah,
dirt.
just put up a green screen.
Yeah, exactly. Get a pet dog. It'd be great.
Who are you? Where are we? What's going on?
So I'm Jay. You're D.
I'm A.
You're A.
I'm D.
There we go.
How goes it?
Nice.
I apologize. There's like a super bad lag on me, and Skype already closed it twice on me, so my apologies. If it
You've
Uh-oh.
been frozen this whole time. You look like you're just an image. You're just a little circle.
I
Oh.
am.
Oh my
Just, like,
god.
keeps booting me out every minute.
So I don't know if you got. I feel like
Boots and hearts.
it's very scary that my lip is doing things without my permission. I try to make
yeah,
a surprise face.
Joe had Botox today, everyone.
Yeah, I got Botox, but only on one side. I was like, I don't have a budget for the full Botox,
This does
so
not work.
just hit the one side of my upper lip, and then the rest.
Yeah, and if in 6 months I'll come back and we'll do the other side.
Yeah. Crazy though. It's so weird. It's always weird coming out of the dentist. And also, the older you get, the less nice they treat you. I feel like when I used to go, they're like, "Let's give you Novocaine, some laughing gas. Let's get you high." I'm like, "Oh, that's great. It's sticking needles in me. I don't even feel it." And then now, nothing. They don't even give me sunglasses. I just gotta close my eyes. There's blinding light on me. Crazy. And then the second they're done, they'll get out of here. I don't get anything. Oh no.
No lollipop,
Oh.
nothing.
Oh, you get to comment on the screen.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool. I don't know if that's always been a feature, but there
It's
you
so
go.
brutal. It's just like cutting out every second on me. I'm like, wow.
Oh dear. It's
Um,
probably because of where you
I'm
are.
bearing with it.
Well, do you
I
guys
think
want to
it's-
share the same screen or no? Which, speaking of which, we can talk about Aidan's background. Normally, it's so vibrant, neon colors. What in the world has happened? Where are you?
I've decided to be a minimalist,
Ooh,
and I have sold all my belongings.
how very charitable of you.
Yeah.
Unless you just burned it all. I don't know.
No, I sold them. I made profit.
Okay.
I didn't give them away.
Charitable.
How capitalist of you. How very
Yeah.
capitalist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Speaking of capitalism and
Oh.
selling things,
No. Wait. So a better way of starting this, other than just saying what it is, back in, now I forget the year. Let's just make one up. Let's say back in 2016, Elon Musk.
1992.
Back in 1992, Elon Musk promised he would give the UN $6 billion if they gave him a precise plan of exactly how they will use that money specifically to end world hunger.
Yeah.
They called his bluff and actually constructed an extremely elaborate plan, and he never gave them the money. Now he spent $45 billion buying Twitter. Capitalism, it's soul.
And all the frat boys worship this guy.
They all rejoice. They're like, Trump's going to get back on Twitter. This is such good news. We love this change. Incredible. This is exactly what we needed.
There was a funny sketch on the TikToks where it was like the Twitter board meeting of like everyone involved in this, like the new Elon Musk Twitter, where they're like, guys, we can say anything now. Anything goes. There's no censorship. Anything goes.
Yeah.
And the first guy goes, he's checking his phone. He's like, oh my God, someone just tweeted pro-terrorism or something. Should we take it down? And like, no, we have to allow it because anything is allowed now, and then the jokes get progressively more and more like
Yeah,
wild,
like
and to the
yeah.
point where they're like, okay, this guy is sharing a link to where you can buy children online, and they're like, but we can't delete it because we
Free
said we wouldn't.
speech, so
And it just
free
gets
speech.
more and more and more, more and more
Oh,
crazy.
no. Yeah, that's the reality. Everyone's
Yeah.
acting like it's so black and white, but it is not at all. Come on, man.
Nonsense.
He's acting as if Twitter is Xbox 360 chat on Halo 3. It is not that. That was full of racism and sexism. But Twitter is far worse. You can establish a terrorist cult and create a plan and execute it on Twitter. Twitter is hence very dangerous if it is left unregulated. Right
Yeah,
now, it's
people were
regulated.
saying like how it's so censored, and then you go, why is it censored? You go, well, because they banned Trump. But
You go on there.
apart
you
from
don't
that, yeah, everything
say
is still
shit.
there that shouldn't like
There's
well
so
not
much
should
hate.
be there, but yeah, like when the freedom stuff was going on, you could go to hashtag freedom convoy, you'd see the most craziest
Yeah.
stuff people were spewing out uncensored. It's like so there's no sense. Anyway.
There's a little tab that says misinformation if they say something like very specific
Sure.
to
Yeah.
trigger that algorithm. But otherwise, yeah, it's like it's pretty free.
Yeah.
So
It's
this
all
is
opinion based.
very delusional, this idea that it's not free. I
Yeah.
do understand it myself.
But I guess if he wants to spend $45 billion, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
All the
This is
shareholders are going to be
awesome.
happy. Like, all right, well, let's all retire.
Wanna-
It's all yours, Elon. See ya.
what was the one that Microsoft bought that was like $69 billion? Activision? It was one of the ones that owns Call of Duty.
Oh, then yeah, Blizzard Activision, yeah.
Okay, Blizzard
Yeah.
Activision. $69 billion.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
What
I
is
think
money worth? Why is
yeah,
why is
yeah,
that
when
money?
you're like a $1 trillion company like that, it's just like nothing has value.
Yeah, so weird because it's like, okay, so all of the CEOs, they are the ones getting paid, and then the workers do not get any of that money, and they just keep working for Activision Blizzard, but
Mhm.
now under new leadership.
Yeah.
So weird. It's like, okay, so now there's
Seems
these
like
random people who established a franchise, a series of franchises, and then just sold it, and so now they're just walking around jobless with billions of dollars. What are they going to do with it? It seems like too much power for a single individual. I
It
don't
seems
know.
like a lot of money to retire off, isn't it? It's like
guess.
because all these CEOs are already probably in their late 50s.
Yeah, they're all usually.
It's like- So now if you retire, it's like, all right, let's say you're going to live until you're 80. You're never going to spend that money in that time. What are you going to do?
You have to
You
literally burn it or get rid of it in one big.
Yeah.
Do a
And
squid.
that's like, it's probably already got a decent house anyway. It's like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Like,
Exactly. So,
yeah, you buy
there-
another house, I guess, somewhere else in the country. It's kind of like, yeah.
Also, you got to feel for whoever the current CEO of Twitter is, because he fought this so hard, and then when it finally happened, he's like pretending as if he's like part of the team that said yes. He's like, we look forward to, the new owner or whatever. But it's like this dude is getting fired. He's not going to stay as CEO. Elon Musk is probably going to fire everyone who's a higher up there because they fought him so hard. But then whoever the well, what is it even called? The team of people, the shareholders. The shareholders are the ones who all voted to let him buy it. So they're the ones that stay, and everyone else just gets fired.
Yeah.
It's gonna be mass exodus.
But what does it like? What is the positive from this? Like, I don't get it. I don't really get it. Like, okay, so he's buying.
You can edit,
Why do they want him to buy Twitter?
which is good for comedians who made mistakes 10 years in the past. But then that can still get dug up through metadata and stuff. People have ways, of
So
unedited.
wait, so basically, because he can buy it, he can unban people, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
Okay,
can
so
like
then-
lift the censorship and allow people just to tweet whatever they want.
Okay, so but
Yeah.
why
Information,
doesn't Twitter just do that on its own without letting him buy it?
Right. They should have just been like,
That's
stop
what I don't
harassing us. We're just going to do this stuff, and now it's our idea. So, yeah. That would have
Or
been.
like, are they done with it? Like, what? Why are they selling it? So like, why don't they want it anymore?
I don't.
Well, I think they're selling it because they got 45. Was it 45 billion?
Yeah, 45 billion.
Right. So regardless of what your morals are, when it's like if the
Money.
shareholders are like, he's offering us $45 billion
Yeah.
for essentially a website where you tweet one sentence, it's like,
Right.
Yeah,
why is
no,
it
fair
worth
enough.
45
Fair
billion?
enough.
It's crazy.
But
Crazy
isn't
money.
it already worth? But like, for instance, isn't it already worth near billions?
Well, I'm sure the valuation was based on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's the part I don't
Probably
get.
paid
Why
what-
it's like, why must we give it to him? I don't get it.
Yeah.
He made a
That's the
public
part I don't get.
display, and he sways the stock market for some fucking reason. So he makes the offer. If they deny, then their stocks go down. Just something stupid like that. So they just money and the idea of being publicly humiliated forced them to.
Yeah.
I don't know, because they were literally saying
Fair
no
enough.
the whole time, and then they just said yes. So
They
stupid.
might have felt pressure from the frat bros.
Yeah, exactly. It was all the frat bros. It was
Yeah.
their sons calling their dads weak. Yeah, it's all a combination. Come on, bro. He's my hero. How could you not accept? I want to roll around in Elon Musk money, Dad. Come on.
He's going to be the future president, not realizing he's not American. Yeah, he's going to be the future president. I'm world leader.
Do you have to be born to be the president, or can you just got to become a citizen?
Well, remember Obama? There was
Oh right,
a lot
everyone
of
was hating on him
contention
for.
there.
Yeah, he was born in Hawaii, right?
Yes.
So even though he had Haitian background, he was born in a place that America claimed as their own. So he was
He's
eligible.
literally one of the 50 states. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
there you
literally American.
Got to be born. Yep.
Yeah.
Was Ted Cruz? Does he have dual citizenship? I feel like someone embarrassing is like half Canadian.
Oh, right. I'm not sure.
And
Maybe.
it's one of those things where it's like, how are you allowed to be this deep in government when you're not even like a born citizen? Not that I give a shit about the rules, but it's just
Yeah. I
fact.
definitely feel like you should be from the country if you're going to represent the country and come up with the rules of the country and govern the country and send the country to war and all that sort of stuff. You should probably be from the
war
country.
specifically. I feel like
Yeah.
people would back someone who was born in their land rather than someone. Yeah, but I guess companies they don't have armies, but otherwise they're everything else that a country is, right? They have citizens that are under them, they make money for them, but anyone can do it. So we will change topics to a more futuristic topic, but before we do that, I just want to share with you guys this fun little story that I learned today, fairly recently. It's the story of New Coke. Do you guys know anything about the tale of Coca-Cola? I didn't know about this because it was like just before our time. Like it happened in 1984, I think. There was this this Cuban man, born in Cuba. He worked in a Coca-Cola factory, and he was very ambitious. He was very hardworking. He ended up becoming like the manager of that Coca-Cola factory, and this was right when. Now I'm forgetting his name, but whoever that communist extremist was in Cuba,
Fidel Castro.
He was doing his shit at that time. So this man, whose name escapes me, unfortunately, even though I just learned about this, this manager of a Coca-Cola factory from Cuba fled to America, and then once he was in America, he started shaking hands with all the right people. He was an incredible businessman, a genius. Everyone loved working with him, and he worked his way up the ladder until he became the CEO of Coca-Cola. And and then the year that he became the CEO, he started recruiting scientists to mix around with different ingredients and to try to create an even better formula for Coca-Cola. And there was like millions, tens of millions of dollars put into like this scientific research, and they were doing testing groups and stuff. And this was at the same time that Pepsi was doing their ad campaigns of like having people drink two different things without knowing what it is, and they say, I like this one better, and it turns out to be Pepsi. So I think that was like the fear that was coming out of them doing this.
Mhm.
And Coca-Cola, aside from the cocaine, has had the same ingredients for like 100 years leading up to this point, because they had their 100-year anniversary, I think, in 1984 or 85. Um, so
Cool.
this ambitious new CEO put all of this energy into creating a new formula for Coca-Cola, and they're doing testing groups. Everyone loved it, and they're like, okay, for the first time ever, aside from when we removed cocaine, we're going to change Coca-Cola's main ingredient. We're not going to make a different one. It's going to be the Coca-Cola. There will no longer be the old recipe. So they started by doing this rollout, calling it New Coke. And that was going to exist for a year, or maybe even less, like 9 months, and then slowly phase it into just being Coca-Cola. And there was such a backlash that it literally failed. You had now shamed Bill Cosby at the time. Everyone loved him to be a spokesperson. He's advertising and saying New Coke, it's what everyone wants. And then you had like this weird looking fake jelly haired back dude that like Eminem impersonated in his Rap God song, like with the sunglasses on and the weird wavy background, and he had like blonde slick back hair. That was invented by Coca-Cola, and that was to advertise New Coke. And there were protests specifically in the South, like the southern states of America, and it became such a big deal that they were able to fund a lawsuit against Coca-Cola successfully, and it didn't go away for like 3 months. And it got to the point where the backlash was so huge that other countries didn't want this new Coke, so they literally rejected the shipments, like as it was getting shipped over, like into their factories, and it became this huge debacle. And so they ended up just disbanding New Coke and just going back to the original formula. So like failed. But it was like the biggest like show of public sway changing something that otherwise would not have been changed.
Wow.
It's pretty intense.
And then that CEO kept his job until like 1997 when he died, and he died drinking Coca-Cola. But he never stopped drinking the new recipe. So
wow, he stuck to it.
He specifically kept having it made just for him, and then he drank it. Died.
I thought you were going to say something wild like, and that became Pepsi or something like that. Where it's
no.
That
but
Pepsi.
It was because of Pepsi that they started this whole thing, and then it just failed completely.
Wow,
so
man.
That's the tale of New Coke.
It's interesting how, like, because they'll bring out, the cherry, like you can find all these flavors still, like cherry Coke and vanilla and the clear one. Do you remember the clear one? But
Sprite?
No, they made like a special edition like clear Coke one time.
Oh
right?
yeah, true.
I feel like
I didn't know they actually did that. I just thought they just sold it, like in stores.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they came out with it. Yeah,
they made it. Yeah,
they made it, but like it never sticks. People just want the original.
It's a fad, and then they want the original. Yeah, and that's just it's been around forever. Yeah, apparently. Well, or we probably already talked about this, how other countries have developed diabetes in children because of Coca-Cola, which is terrible. But it's because, like, all these other countries around the world, they all have specific foods that were made just in their country, right? They have this culture, this rich history. But then when it comes to liquids, nothing. Just water and Coca-Cola. Any country you go to, that's what they offer you in restaurants. It's like they'll offer you rich, like amazing food that's like local, specifically like made for hundreds of years in their culture, all this stuff, and then for drinks, like, do you want water or Coca-Cola
or a Corona? It's the same. Those are your three options in any restaurant in a foreign country.
Yeah,
yep.
It's crazy, but that's the sway that Coca-Cola has. It's taken over. But anyway, so speaking of the world and the future.
No, speaking of only wanting the original and not wanting.
Yes, that's right.
Corporate remakes.
Fuck the new one. We want the original. That's
exactly.
So good.
Exactly.
That's right. You have Pablo Schreiber. I mean Master Chief. Yeah. I don't associate that character.
We have just a human actor for most of the show.
Oh my God. Exactly.
Yeah. So we're recording this on Wednesday, so episode 6 hasn't dropped, but I'm going to make a prediction with 100% certainty that there will not be another action scene in the next episode. It is going to lull, and then we'll have an action scene at the end.
Yeah, because yeah, so we had the big action, and this episode was probably the most enjoyable out of the whole season.
Yeah.
And there was lots of action, but then spoilers, it kind of goes wrong at the end, and the bad guys win. It's like an Empire Strikes Back moment, where it's like the heroes have lost. Oh no! So you're definitely right. During the next episode, it's just going to be lots of, oh man, now what do we do? Because
and
we
like
lost.
who's the girl that the cousin had on their ship.
How are we going to get it back? Oh yeah, now we've got the girl. Are they really going to fall for that trick again, though?
What is that?
They're going to fall for that trick again,
dude.
Because she's already pulled that trick on the Marines once already.
No, she's doing it again.
We're gonna fall for it again.
And her accents, like I don't know, the language that she does is just too much.
Hate it.
I hate it so much.
She's being Slytherin from Harry Potter.
Yeah, and there's lots of clicks in there.
Yeah, exactly. She's constantly appropriating click languages.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It is. That's but so all of that is happening, and then also Master Chief trying to fucking clock out Halsey. Doing like a WWE.
We both laughed out loud at that moment.
That was like The Rock in Fast and Furious 6. He like jumps onto like a moving airplane and then like Superman punches some dude. Master Chief's trying to Superman punch Halsey.
Why? For one, who attacks like that, Joe? Who jumps across a room to punch a woman in the face?
I know.
Makes no sense. Because, like, where's his gun? Why didn't he pull his gun out?
Or just walk over to her, march over menacingly,
and
then grab her by the shoulders and be like, "Fuck you, Halsey."
But I'm thinking, even from like the writer's point of view, I'm like, why would they not go? Master Chief pulls his gun, he's going to shoot Halsey, and then she goes Cortana, and he goes, and he drops the gun, and that would have made sense. But instead, the writers go, and Master Chief leaps Superman 10 feet with his fist, and then drops out of the air, and the momentum for some reason stops him, and he just drops downwards instead of continuing to propel through the air.
So he lunges with the force to clear the entire room to get to Halsey.
When she yells Cortana.
The velocity.
She has time to say that as well, D.
Yeah. It would have taken him a second to punch her in the face, and inside of that 1 second of him leaping, she goes Cortana, and then Cortana goes disabling, like says a whole sentence, and then just shuts off, and then just midair stops and drops, and then it looks like he's coming. He's just lying back, just
so lame.
Like there's so many memes about that when it's like, and she make you nuts so good. He's just like,
yeah, literally.
It's like,
oh my gosh. But apart from that.
Yeah, apart from that embarrassment.
The rest of the episode was decent. Apart from, though, my only criticism is all these sci-fi TV shows that are on a limited budget, like Star Trek Discovery and The 100.
It's funny you say that, but Star Trek Discovery, they pump the most money into that in all of Ontario. I think. Yeah. It's the highest budget TV show, but it doesn't have good action scenes, so it's interesting.
No, here's my point, Joe. So, I looked it up after, because I always see at the end of credits it does say funded by Ontario Creates and Quebec Film Fund. So I was like, what? It was filmed here? I don't remember hearing anything about that. And I looked it up. I think they just used some of the indoor sound stages, but all the exterior stuff, because of COVID, they had to go to Hungary, because Hungary was like every movie pretty much filmed in Hungary over COVID, because they were like, we're just coming through here. It's fine, we
don't our people.
Yeah, so many movies. If you look it up, like so many movies ended up filming there. But yeah, so I'm watching it, and so The 100, The Expanse, Star Trek Discovery, Halo. You always know it's a limited budget on these sci-fi shows when the alien planet is just a quarry, a stone quarry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so cheap.
It's a place where you don't even have to pay for location, because the mayor of whatever town they're in doesn't even know that quarry exists. It's just a back alley dune.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly, Joe.
Yeah. He's like, the stone quarry? We were going to fill that in next week anyway and put a ski ramp there. It's like, hey, whatever.
Did you hear some noises last night? Like the construction workers, like, I saw some lights. Maybe some teenagers were down there, and it's the Halo production set sneaking in. To film their scenes.
You getting Subway for lunch?
Yeah, exactly. Let's go. It's like when you're playing hockey on the street. Car! And then they just run. We got the shots. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It's like, oh man. Have it be in a
Yeah,
no trees up. That'd be epic. Yeah.
the action was good. The explosions, Chief
The
got a
nuclear
little
explosion was fucking epic.
right, real
I thought I'd see
explosions.
that in my life. That was awesome. Because the video games don't even go that gory, right? The video games just the person stays intact, but there's just an explosion and the person goes flying. But this thing fucking up, ridiculous, tight, and then the grunt takes over. A lot of stuff happened that has never happened in the games. That's very interesting. Like Jack's having energy swords.
That's
Isn't that
weird.
the whole series, basically?
Yeah.
Joe, you're
Well,
just
I guess
describing the whole
there's
series.
some stuff they don't do. But in the action, it's at least interesting because you go, oh, that's never happened in the games. Because that's fine to change things with action. Because in real life, action can go any which way. It's chaos. War is chaos.
Yeah.
It's just when you're changing established plot lines that's stupid. Change the action all you want. That's fine, you know? But yeah, so he tries to hijack a Banshee, doesn't work, so he just like pulls on the wing, you know? I feel like that's
great.
That's good. That's a good way to
Makes
take it
sense.
down.
Yeah.
But in the video games, if you just flew that into a Phantom and it exploded, you would have died.
Would have died.
The energy shields wasn't a lot lower. And then they show the Brute Chieftain guy, and he had the like Halo Reach design, like with the sunken in eyes and like the kind of bald on top, and like just the skin color texture. I feel it was very Halo Reach. Not necessarily in a bad way because it didn't look as rough as Halo Reach brutes, but yeah, kind of had that vibe. And then he had a beard, and apparently, if you look up different languages of that episode, and it shows the subtitles when he's like speaking in his alien language, it says Atriox. So
shit,
that brute is supposed to be Atriox, but I don't know if that's just an Easter egg, and that brute won't really play a big role. I don't know.
Yeah, because you'd think if in this timeline it would be Tartarus instead.
Yeah, exactly. Tartarus was higher up on the
timeline, but
nothing.
I wasn't expecting to see brutes in this show.
I know. Yeah.
At all. So that was cool.
Yeah. I appreciate that all of the Covenant being there. The show has lulled me into such disappointment that I was actually surprised in a good way. I was like, hey, grunts, hey, jackals. I'm like, all right.
You guys got a little of something.
Yeah.
Exactly. We got some fanfare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like when the soup tastes good a little bit.
It's like they're throwing in this brute at this point in the show, but it's like, so if
he's got nothing to do with the action, you just
why have we not seen any brutes before this point? Why is there only a hunter we've seen just the tentacles from inside the hunter, not the full thing? But all of a sudden now we've got a brute. And I'm not complaining that we've got brute because it was cool, but it just seems so random that it's the first time we've seen grunts and jackals in the whole show, and then we're also throwing in a brute. It was a bit like, whoa, okay. Because at one point I was thinking we are only going to see elites this entire show.
Yeah, that's what I figured too.
And then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, all the other species are here. It's like, okay.
It was nice, but then it was good in the moment, and it's still good. It's a good action scene. But when you take the show as a whole, we already know those creatures. As far as establishing them, they've done a terrible job at establishing the Covenant. They just had 5 elites in episode 1, show nothing but elites up to this point. They showed the leg of a hunter. And then they were just like, and here's the other ones. So it's like to anyone who's never seen Halo, they'd be like, what the fuck? It's like, okay, here's more.
So
they did not establish the Covenant at all. Like, I feel like they should have had just an expedition dump where they just go, the Covenant are a collection of species that have waged war with humanity. But it's not because the prophets know that humans can access Forerunner artifacts, because that's not a thing in this universe. They've just waged war with humanity for no reason. Instead of consuming them.
Yeah, did that ever cross your mind, D, when in that scene when it was different aliens showing up? Did you think, oh, it's the same enemy, or did you think?
Well, I thought it was the same. I figured it was.
You just figured it out, put context clues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like in a good story, they do a step-by-step of introducing different alien species. Like, I feel like Mad Max, Fury Road, random example to use because there's not aliens in that, but in that movie, they established brand new teams, brand new types of people. Like, all this new stuff, and they do it in an action setting,
Mhm.
but they do it in a really good
Yeah.
way where it's step by step. That way you
Yeah.
don't just get they don't just throw everything at you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, what's all this stuff? And you'd have to rewatch it. It's like they introduce you one by one, but during the action. And I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
they should have done that with this, where in episode 1, it should have been the grunts go in to attack that Madrigal station, and then jackals. So they start screaming, oh no, like it's more than just the grunts. They got jackal snipers. And then the elites come and they're like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
And then at least have an idea of what the Covenant is, which is a collection of
Yeah.
alien species.
Or even just a shot when they were on High Charity with the human Covenant woman
yeah, yeah.
and the
Just do a
prophet.
salvage
Just
shot
have
of
some
the different
B-roll of just different aliens walking around.
walking
like,
around the streets.
yeah.
Just chilling. Eating
Easy.
a snow cone. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snow cones.
Just, yeah. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do, right?
And then there was also that kind of moment of like, oh, all that for nothing, where it was like that. So they're in the bottom of the rock quarry, and they're like, we need to get the device up to the top of the stone quarry where Miranda's ship is, and
Yeah.
they're like, okay, well, let's put all 3 of our superhuman Spartans in one vehicle.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
drive up there instead of splitting up and trying to like defeating the enemy as a group. But now we'll all go in one, drive all the way around, and then we'll almost get there, and then we're just going to crash and fall back down again. It's like,
Yeah. Exactly.
oh,
Pathetic.
okay,
It's fine. Listen, they had to get that stone somehow, so there we go.
yeah,
Also, like, unless they do something where they have to then redo another kind of heist scenario, they steal it from the Covenant. In the games, it's humanity that finds Halo first. But so
Mhm.
far in this show, they're setting it up like the Covenant's going to win. They now have that rock. They sent in the woman to grab the little rock, and then they go to Halo, you know?
yeah,
So it's like, all right, we'll change things up even more now. It's fine, I guess.
yeah. And unless it's gonna the last episode. Okay, so here we go then. Predictions. So
Here we
is
go.
there 1 episode left or 2? It's 2, right?
Eight episodes, so we got 3 left.
Oh, 3. Oh, okay.
3.
Right. Okay.
After two, we'll have 2 left. Yeah.
So maybe not. But I'll just throw a scenario out.
Okay.
They somehow figure out how to track Atriox and the device, the stone thing. So they've got the Covenant have the stone, and they figure out where the Halo is. They can spend a whole episode just wasting our time, just looking at maps and trying to.
So
Now we
they've
know where
already-
it is.
totally
You
fine.
know, spend a whole hour just looking at a map.
Yeah.
And then they figure out the Halo's over there in that star cluster, whatever. And now they start heading there. The humans somehow, maybe they interrogate human Covenant girl, and she breaks and she realizes, I don't know, she's meant to be a human after all. They figure out a way to track the Covenant ship, and they go, oh, okay, we need to get after them. And then Captain Keyes is like, I've got the best ship for the job. It's called the Pillar of Autumn. Wink, wink. It's from the game. Wink, wink. And they go after the Covenant in the Pillar of Autumn. So they basically switch around the story from the games. Rather than the Covenant chasing the Pillar of Autumn and find the Halo, they do it around the humans chase the Covenant to the Halo, and they kind of just reverse it. That's how they both get there.
Yeah.
And then season 2 can be Combat Evolved beginning. So season 2 starts with them crash landing on the Halo, and then they basically save the show by doing everything that we want them to do in this series, but they just doing season 2 instead.
I already know they won't though, because like how hard they have fumbled these episodes so far. It's I feel like they're gonna have half of an episode where it's like classic Halo, and then that's it, and then the other half of the episode is like, now let's talk more about human drama, and then the rest of the season is just like track.
Right off.
And also, they're still wasting our time with the Quan storyline that isn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
there's nothing. There's no stake. We're not invested. Like, well, I don't give a shit that she's in the desert and that what's it called?
She's
Joaquin?
strapped to a bike and she breaks the bike, and then she sneaks up
and
and
overacts hitting her thing. Oh wow, yeah, you can scream. Good acting there. Great.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a bit harsh. It was a bit harsh, but it really bugged me, that scene. It was just like,
You sound like
she
Well,
was doing
especially
too
because
much.
she's using a rock to break metal. It doesn't work. The rock breaks, so she just gets another rock and then it breaks metal. It's like I don't know if that's how it works, but
No.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, she owes him money, and he hasn't specifically said he was going to turn her in. He was just like, I'm going to go find another vehicle, and she's like, well, I'm just going to try and escape because we're sure needs some excitement in our storyline.
But not like this.
What
Not like
I don't
this.
care about this story. So
Yeah.
what if she makes it to wherever she's heading and she's going to kill the guy from Dark Knight Rises?
Right.
That
I literally
so
forgot
what?
about
It doesn't affect anything in the plot. It doesn't
I
affect
know,
anything
it's
because
so
Master
small.
Chief is still going to end up heading to the Halo.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything.
It hurts to think about. It makes me sad to think about. It's gonna be a thing where the last episode is gonna have her killing him, or honestly, that they might drag that out to season 2. Her story is gonna end with her just finding the Mystics, and that's how the season ends. And then season 2, we continue following her storyline.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the Halos, and then she gets her revenge, kills the guy.
Or
And
she
takes over.
will become like a resistance leader, and they'll take it down that route, and they'll just
Yeah,
have this
that's
constant
still so
beeline
uninteresting.
of like her doing resistance shit against the insurrectionists and all that sort of stuff.
But, like,
It's like, well, it's still not part of the bigger picture, though. We don't care. It's not.
there's galaxy-ending shit happening.
Yeah,
And you guys are still squabbling over the Civil War.
yeah.
It means nothing.
Like there
There's
is a
alien-
giant ring planet that is a nuclear bomb for the galaxy. We don't care that your dad got screwed out of his rebellion. Like no,
Exactly.
it's like
No offense,
also
I just don't care.
yeah, and also the space zombies at some point as well. So not only is there a world-ending ring, there's also space zombies to worry about. So like we don't care about this plot.
Well, hey, how about this? Season 2 is the final season of this show, and the Flood wins. It's just an alternate thing where like the Flood wins. So like Master Chief is getting away, blows up the Halo, but then like the Flood still like take over the Covenant, and then they get to Earth, and they just start infecting the whole galaxy. So you just see him running to Madrigal, him and Quan back to back shooting the Flood, but they'll get overwhelmed, and then it's just like the end. And Cortana's just sitting around hanging out with the Grave Mind, and then it's like, and that's how the universe ended. Bye bye.
It's just
Oh,
that shot of her from the
A new
post
series starting next week by someone else, please.
Oh my
Yeah, it
God.
immediately gets rebooted by Netflix the next
Son
week.
of a-
Yeah, but honestly, I'd rather just have Netflix do the show at this point. Like,
Yeah, I would rather Netflix did a woke version of Halo than whatever the hell this silver.
I know,
timeline
I
is.
don't. This is just bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd rather take woke than bad. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Nonsense.
The struggles are
this is our state, you know. This is probably why I was put here, because of the Halo show. Its imbalance and chaos has caused the rip in space time, and now I found myself in this.
And this is why we need Thanos, because he's
Yeah.
all about bringing balance to the galaxy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Since there's imbalance, I found myself here. I'm waiting for Thanos to come. I'm the cloaked guy, except instead of like a dark area, it's a really bright area. And I just show my face. Come here. I'm Red Skull, except I'm just White Skull.
It was kind of Thanos showing up at the end with that brute. It kind of looked a bit like him.
Yeah, he's the alien.
Yeah. Well, at least we got one good episode, because we've had like 2 or 3 in a row that have been snooze fest. But at least we've had a good action, and there was banshees and explosions and a brute and grunts and jackals and
Lovely.
yeah.
More of that, please.
Yeah.
Please. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Hey, so it's not been an hour, but a little birdie told me that you guys got more packing to do. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
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 Packing
So what do you guys think? Want to cut it early?
Yeah, let's wrap it up, because we've been kind of just packing boxes all day. And we've got more
get back to
tomorrow.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The struggle's real. My back is
Yeah.
killing me too.
His back's hurting. Yeah.
I need to do
You got to
more
get some of that
exercising.
rub A353.
Yeah.
Oh.
it's so
that cream?
good.
It's like a cream. You
I
just
was
put it on
telling
the back.
Aidan about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah,
Tiger
it's really
Balm.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
then
Tiger Balm.
yeah, we're gonna pack it all up Saturday into a truck, hopefully, and then hopefully we'll do it all in one trip if we can. Hopefully.
Yeah. Are you renting a truck or getting a dude?
No, we're gonna try and get a little cube truck. So hopefully we can do it all in one.
Yeah. Well, hey, good luck getting around. I mean, I guess it's good you got a court because it's like how to angle that
Oh,
thing.
true. Yeah.
Fill it up.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah, we've got and the street at the new place. It's like a through road, so we should just be able to bring it in one side, pack up, and then we can just take it out the other end. We don't have to like turn around or anything.
Yeah. Nice.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys. Yeah. I don't
and then
know
you can
what
come
plans
over.
I have. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I should crash your moving day.
Oh
and
my
just live there.
gosh.
We'll see. Because that's what I'm doing. But it's this weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you. I'll see.
Yeah. Well, it's a long way for you to come, so don't feel like you have
Well,
to.
I mean, I gotta see the place. You know.
True.
I'll see
It might
when
be
it's
better
happening.
when we've settled it all though, because we're gonna have probably too much furniture, and we'll probably have to get rid of some stuff. And
Yeah, we definitely have to get rid of some
Are you
stuff. For
downsizing?
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we just have. It's not that we're. I would say we're downsizing, but not in a way we aren't because we have more room. But it's just more of the space here isn't utilized well, so we just have a lot of things everywhere.
Yeah.
That in the
Oh,
new
true.
place, it's like we don't need that many chairs, we don't need that many shelves, we don't need that many.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Because
it's like we're
here it's like
downsizing,
open
but
concept, right? So that,
so
like we
Yeah,
just
right
have
here.
stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you just accumulate things, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Right. Once
So
you
much
actually
stuff
look at it,
inside,
you're like,
though.
wait a minute. I have 15 CDs of Shrek the musical. I just had so much open room. I couldn't help myself. Yeah. Got to reevaluate all those Shrek CDs. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, as always, it's great seeing / hearing you guys, and yeah, I got to see a new place. So
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
See what-
As soon as we
we'll
all
see.
settled up,
Yeah.
I'll give you a shout.
We'll let the dust
I'll
settle
let
and
you know.
stuff in there, and then
Okay.
yeah.
I'll make it work.
All right,
Okay,
brother.
dope. Awesome. All right, well, yeah,
Bye,
get
Aidan.
back to packing. I'm gonna get driving.
Thanks for watching and listening, guys.
Yeah, sound off down below
Um.
on how much you hate Halo, just like us.
No, tell us how much you
Sound
love
off
the
below.
Halo show. Tell us
how much you.
tell us your
Well,
favorite
I
ship.
guess we won't be
Your ship,
receiving.
the
I guess we
Covenant
won't be
Girl,
receiving any
next
feedback
week.
this week because nobody liked it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this
That's
episode's a
overplus.
slow
That's
one. There won't be
overplus.
any good stuff. Though. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe and hit the like button. If you are listening on the podcast apps, wherever you might find them, drop
Apple
a.
podcast.
What did they do on there, Joe? A review? Is it a star?
Leave a review. You can
Yeah.
star it and leave a review.
There we go.
The options are endless.
Do
It's
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
So get ready.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Until next time,
Well, next
may
time,
Halo be with you.
may the
All right,
fall.
sounds good.
falls.
Take care, guys. Be safe.
Yeah.
And until the next one, unplug or plug in. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Au revoir, mes amis. Bon voyage.
Bye,
Oh
Joe.
my gosh, I did it. I did the hearts like my camera was on. Oh my
Hearts.
gosh, I did the. Yeah, I did it. I did it. Okay, bye.
Bye.